I really must stop pulling faces just as I hit live, because I never know when the camera is actually going to go live, and therefore have no idea what the freeze frame is that you see at the beginning of these videos. Hi everybody, and welcome to day 3, she says, scratching her nose, of the 7 keys of confidence, and my dedication to make sure that I go deeper with these 7 keys. For those of you who have already had access to the 7 keys of confidence and listened to the webinar or the audio and gone through the workbook, and for those of you that haven't, then you can access that on juleswyman.com, and you'll see it on every page on the website, so it's nice and easy for you to access. You just put your details in and hit subscribe, and that will come whizzing into your inbox, and you can go through it. Now the webinar itself is about, I think it's about 75 minutes long, so you can go through that for yourself. But my aim, through the request of people that have gone through it, is to make sure that I give you the opportunity to dive a bit deeper. And I thought, what better way of being able to do that than share these videos. Hi Mike, nice to see you on board. And I thought I'd share these videos with you and give you the opportunity to ask questions like you can do below, or as Mike has just done, hit the like button. You can even love it if you want to, or if it gets you angry, then press that button too. It doesn't matter. The purpose of it is being able to share this information. Thank you, Mike. Share this information so that you can also share it with other people, because in my experience, it's not just one person that you'll know that has challenges with their confidence. It's going to be a variety of people. So the aim is to make this as accessible as possible so that you can hit the share button, share it with your friends, family members, colleagues, those that are really challenged, struggling, finding life a bit hard at the moment, because there's so many changes going on. A lot of people are experiencing uncertainty. Quite a lot of people are getting scared and fearful about what the future holds, and confidence is a part of that big puzzle. And I want to do whatever I can to support people so that they can recognize that they can do life in a different way, that it doesn't have to just be life happening to you. You can actually have access to some different ways of being able to do things. So for those of you who have been watching most of the videos I'll do, you'll notice that there's a very different painting behind me today than there usually is, and that's because I'm not in my office. I've escaped, and I'm actually in the southwest of England today. I'm near the city of Bath, having a wonderful day with a colleague of mine, doing some sort of business strategies for the two of us and looking at what we can do to expand what we do and connect with more people in a different way and redefine what it is that we're looking to do. So I'm having the wonderful day of coming down and spending it near the city of Bath, which I'm looking out the window. It's just stunning, absolutely beautiful. So make sure that you hit the comments below, and if you have questions as we go through, I'm not going to re-go over day 1 and day 2 of the keys of confidence, because the videos are still below in the timeline, so you can go back and access that. And because we've only got a period of time on this particular video, I want to make sure that we dive in as quickly as possible and start looking at that 3rd key, and more importantly, the lock. This is most of you, I suspect, will know this lock. I know that I know this lock oh too well, and I want to get into discussing those with you so that you can look at how best you can challenge it, question it, and go beyond it and open that lock with that key so that you can start to access confidence in a different way. So excuse me a moment whilst I have a swig of water. I think what we can end up doing when we're looking to build our own confidence or feel more resilient or resourceful or comfortable in our own skin is that we can end up kind of looking for quick fixes all the time. And the purpose of me distilling this down into the 7 keys is to show you that there isn't just one quick fix. This is multi-layers of stuff, and it comes in different guises and different angles. And there are so many different ways that this can sideswipe our lives, and we don't realize it. And we have all these various different words that describe what we're experiencing or how we're thinking or what that is creating for us emotionally. And what we don't tend to do is recognize that they are all driving in a similar direction. And in the instance of what I'm talking about, is they're driving in that similar direction where confidence is concerned. Now, this lock number 3 that really gets people stuck and keeps people stuck is a word that gets thrown around, and there are, I don't know how many courses and books written just on this topic alone, because the lock that really stops you from experiencing confidence in a different way is procrastination. That is your third lock that is going to be preventing you from experiencing true confidence. Now, procrastination is something that people will joke about, saying, oh, I'm such a good procrastinator, I put off procrastinating. And we can joke about it, but actually when we sit and look at those things that, and I've done it, I know those things myself, that I have this list of to-dos, and that there'll be certain things that kind of seem to make it from one day to the next day, and then the following day, and so on and so forth, before it's kind of a month gone by or a year gone by, or so on and so forth of time frames. We don't realise that we're procrastinating on something, and we need to sit down and be truthful with ourselves. A big factor that relates to us experiencing real confidence is truth, and being really truthful for ourselves. Now, where truth is concerned, we need to be honest that we're procrastinating. We need to be truthful to say, yeah, I'm putting this off. But being very careful not to slip into the blame, which is obviously one of the other locks that we've spoken about, of blaming either, oh, well, it's not my fault, it's because the weather was as it was, or because the government have done this, or because my mum said that, or my dad did this, or my brother did that, or blaming somebody else, or even blaming ourselves. I'm such an idiot, I should have done this by now, and I haven't done it, and I'm such a fool, and etc., etc. We can end up then get caught in that blame loop. Procrastination becomes that trigger and hits that blame loop. And before we know it, we've got all these locks going on, and we're going back to the beginning of the corridor, and we're not giving ourselves the opportunity to move forward. So your first key with procrastination is to look at and be truthful and honest with yourself. What are you procrastinating? What specifically? And it could be a specific task that you need to do, cleaning out that cupboard, decluttering. Had an interesting conversation with a friend at the weekend about that. And I know that there are certain jobs that I just kind of go, one of my kitchen cupboards, for example, the hinge came off the other day. It'd probably take me less than 5 minutes to go and get the screwdriver, but for some reason in the last few days, other things have become important. And there's little things like that we procrastinate on, but they build up and they keep this loop of procrastination going. And it's one of those things that's happening in the background that we're not engaging with, and then we allow that to happen to us. Hello to those of you who are just joining live. Do make sure that you pop your hellos in the comments below, likes and loves, etc. And when we ignore that procrastination and we kind of go, oh, that's just what I do, or we kind of just go, well, that's just the way that it is, or I'll get round to it at some point. We're lying to ourselves. We are avoiding the truth of what is, and the truth of what is in that instance is that we are avoiding something. We're avoiding it for a particular reason. Hi, Julie, nice to see you. And we're avoiding it for a particular reason, and it would be great to know what that reason is for yourself, and not just kind of, oh, because it's tough, or I haven't got the time, or I haven't got the confidence, I haven't got the money. Whatever the reason is drill it down, get clarity on for what reason are you continually putting this thing off, and write down all of the things that are the excuses. I was talking about this in yesterday's video as well. The excuses, and they may show up as justifications or evidence or even reasons. They may look very solid and very truthful, but actually start to challenge them and kind of start to ask yourself those questions around, why am I really putting this off? What are the other reasons? What other things am I telling myself about putting this off, about saving money, or exercising, or taking care of my health, or changing my diet, or having that difficult conversation? What are the other reasons? And list out as much as you possibly can all of the reasons as to your justifications, your reasons, your excuses for putting this thing off. And then take a deep breath in and ask yourself, what do I need, or what's going to help me do that one thing? What's the smallest one step I can take? Because actually the key that undoes this lock, ironically and truthfully, is effort. And that is key. When you put the effort in, you will get results. And I don't just mean results as in ticking something off your list or getting the certificate or anything like that. What I mean is, it's a lovely phrase that I discovered a number of years ago now, which is that effort feeds esteem. And what that means is it doesn't matter how small that one thing is that you do. When you do it, there's a part of your brain that kind of goes, yay, me. And it's encouraging you to do another little bit more. It starts to speak to you in a different way, especially when you don't have this specific way that things have to be done. It's just, you know what? I know the whole house needs to be decluttered. I'm just going to start with that one drawer, and I'm just going to do that one drawer. And once I've done that one drawer, then I'll go on to the next one drawer. But I'm not going to berate myself about the whole house or even put off doing the whole house. I'm just going to start with that one small step. Because when you put that effort in and you do something that's particularly challenging, that takes you out of your comfort zone, that stretches you, that gives you a different way of viewing yourself. And again, I want to reiterate that it's not about you getting it right or it being a huge success or it being perfect. It is about you putting that effort into you. And it's only when you put that effort in that you're going to see that you have a result. Whatever the result may be, you have a result. And from that place, you've got the opportunity to learn. You've got the opportunity to be able to assess things. You've got the opportunity to look at things in a different way. You've got the opportunity to learn, review. And from that place there, that's when you're going to be able to start giving yourself the the credit even, acknowledge and give yourself that recognition of what you have done, taking that one step in that one direction. Something that very profound came to me in that moment, and I can't remember exactly what it was. If it's important, it will come back to me, I'm sure. So what can end up happening is this brain that we have, this thinking brain that we have, it gets caught up in and gets hooked into quick solutions. It wants short-term gratification, every opportunity it can get. That's why, unfortunately, the capitalist world that we live in is that we get hooked into that kind of that fast food kind of way of being, for want of a better way of putting it. You know, I think statistically, if you go onto a website and if it doesn't load within the first 5 seconds, we're off. Hi, Anne. We're off, and we just don't engage. 7 seconds or less. That's a phenomenally quick amount of time. And, you know, that's the same thing in conversations. You know, if we don't hear what we want to hear very quickly, and this is the thing I find fascinating with doing live broadcasts, because I get to see how long people stay on for. I don't know who personally, by the way, I'm not stalking you in that way, but I can see how long people stay on for. I can see how long people engage, and you can with YouTube and that kind of thing. And what's fascinating is people's attention span. And the challenge with putting effort in is that so many people want a quick result. Where's the magic wand? Where's the silver bullet? Where's the result? I want my lottery win right now. And it's not possible to gain that. You've got to put that effort in. So I had a conversation with a lady, as I mentioned yesterday. I'm running a one-day training on the 3rd of September in the gorgeous city of York. And if you want to find out more, you can go to www.thetruthaboutconfidence.com. I'll put the web link in the chat thing afterwards. And she messaged me and she said, I really want to come, but I want to know what you can guarantee I will get from the day. And I said, that's a really interesting question, because I can't guarantee you're going to get anything. What I can guarantee is you won't make a breakthrough that's going to make you have uber unstoppable confidence forever, because I believe that's utter twaddle. Technical term, but I'm sure you understand. it's just, that's not how it works. You know, if you want to have authentic confidence, of course you're not going to get it in a day. You know, the majority of people are going to come on that course are going to be over 20. So we've got at least 2 decades worth of old stories that people have been telling themselves to challenge, to work, not work through as in a therapy way of working through, but to actually just challenge them and recognize that there is a different way. So there is no quick way, no magic wand way to turn things around. Believe me, if there was, after a decade of studying and understanding, oh, thank you, Julie, that's so sweet. Your first day was a life changer. That's really lovely, Julie. Thank you so much. That means the world to me. What people need to understand is that I personally don't do the changing. I am the facilitator. I give you some information, just like I am on these videos. It would be very easy, believe me. I could have said today, oh, you know, I'm at somebody else's house. I can't possibly, in the middle of a meeting, can't possibly do this call. I could have made all sorts of excuses up about not being able to do this call. You know, I have forgotten this, I've forgotten that. I could have done all things. But do you know what? Putting the effort in and being here makes a difference for me, and potentially could make a difference for somebody who watches this video. And that to me is what it's about. That's the importance. And that's what I was expressing to this lady who was looking for that guarantee. And I said, look, I would love to. If there was a way, if this pencil was a magic wand, and I knew that if I waved this magic wand for you, that I would be able to get you to be able to experience real, true, authentic confidence, I would have you lining up and I would wave that magic wand over and over and over. If I could do that, I could, but that's not how it works being a human. It's just not. And anybody selling you that, I think is doing themselves and you a disservice, because confidence is a work in progress where that's concerned, and that work in progress is about you putting effort in, is about you showing up. So what I did say to this lady is, whilst I can't promise you that you are going to get uber confidence and unstoppable confidence and instant confidence, I can't guarantee you that. What I can guarantee you is that on the full days, I will be there 100%, and I will do and give you everything that I can. Because to me, I will put that effort in. I want to walk away from that day feeling that I have given my absolute best and that I'm exhausted, basically. I want to go home that night, put my feet up in the general direction of my boyfriend so that he can massage them for me. If he's watching this, take note. And just absolutely relax with that, knowing that I've given my full effort to that day, to those people that are there. And I said, what will happen at the end of the day for you, I can't guarantee, because I can pretty much guarantee that the changes that you will experience will come from the effort that you put in after that day. My aim is to give you as many tools and resources and understandings and insights that can give you the opportunity to experience life in a different way. And what you do with that is down to you. The effort that you put into you is what makes that change. Yeah, thank you, Anne. That's a lovely comment to add in, and opening your heart to what you can't control. And interestingly enough, that's exactly one of the conversations that we've been having this morning. My colleague Kat and I have been having this conversation around that realization that, you know, there are so many things in life that we can't control, and there are very few things really that we have control of. And so when you put the effort into what you do have control of, and actually relax about the other stuff and recognise that there's no point in railing against it, that I could get as annoyed as I like about the so-called summer that we're meant to be having in the UK, and yeah, it's sunny, but there's plenty of clouds in the sky, and I could rail against that, but I can't do anything about it. I can't change the weather. If I want to experience something different, then I need to get on a plane, quite frankly. So it is about recognising what you can control, and when you do recognise that, when you do give yourself that acknowledgement that you have to put that effort in, and that links right the way back to the very first key that I was talking about on Monday, which this is about responsibility. This is your responsibility. How you experience life, what you think of you, that's what makes the difference. And when you can understand that the thinking that you're having about you is within your control to change. I'm not saying that can happen in an instant, and I'm not saying that it's easy, but it is possible. And when you recognise that and put that effort in, that's when you can really experience some quite phenomenal, outstanding results, quite frankly. And that's why when, a few years ago when I put the 7 keys of confidence together, that was the thing for me that I wanted to make sure that everybody understood. That one of the things that really does block you from understanding and experiencing, connecting with confidence that's always there. One of the analogies that I use around confidence is that it is like the sun. It's not that it's something that you have to go out and create. It's not something that you have to forge. It's not something that you have to force into being. It's already there. Now, I recognise that for some of you, you may not recognise that, and that you may kind of be questioning, how can it be there? Because I feel like I've got a lack of it, or I've had it knocked, or had a crisis with it. Well, if you think about the sun, as I was just saying, here in England, we don't get to see clear blue skies very often because of the nature of where this country is. But I know that every single day the sun is there. I know it's there. And at this moment in time, we've got clouds outside, and obviously they create shadows, but the sun's still there. It hasn't gone anywhere. Okay, the temperature might be different. It may be a different experience in the shade because those clouds are there, but the sun is always there. Confidence is always there. Your thoughts about you and about what it is that you think that you can or can't do are those clouds. That's the stuff that gets in the way. And it's about recognizing that you don't have to force them to move out of the way. It's about changing your perception about those thoughts. And those clouds dissipate, they move. They will always move at some point. I can pretty much guarantee you that. But the more you buy into putting things off and procrastinating and ignoring and avoiding, one of my favourite questions to ask a client when they are kind of skirting around the issue of procrastination is ask yourself this question. What are you avoiding? What are you avoiding? And what we might say, well, I'm avoiding writing the report, or I'm avoiding having the difficult conversation. Okay, so what are you really avoiding? What are you really avoiding? And just give yourself the opportunity of noticing what comes up, and where possible, write that down. And keep asking yourself, what else am I avoiding? What am I really avoiding? What else am I avoiding? And just keep writing that down, because that will help you get clarity on what is required for you to then be able to put that effort in. And that may be learning, having some more training. If you're not used to having difficult conversations within organisations, then maybe you do want to go and ask your line manager for some training where that's concerned, or maybe you need a mentor, or maybe you need a coach, somebody who can challenge you with that, or maybe you just need a good friend that's going to listen to you. It doesn't matter what you need, but in order to get what it is that you need to know what you're looking for, if that makes sense. So when you can get clear on that, you can then look at putting that effort into getting that one step, taking that one step in order to be able to make that difference. So for example, if it is having that conversation with your line manager to be able to get the training to have those difficult conversations, then that's taking those steps. The first step that you've got to take is ask your line manager. And once you've done that, it's then what's the next one step after that? Because the question that I frame up around this particular key is, what if taking just one small step today would mean that you were progressing, mean that you were moving forward? Just one small step. Because even if you just take one small step every day, the cliched quote is, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Whatever it is that you want to do, it's just that one little bit. Do that next one bit, and then see what the next one bit is after that. Because what if that one step does move you forward, give you that one signal of going, yeah, I did that. And when you acknowledge that, that's the effort that's going to support your esteem. So, Anne, I just noticed that you put something up a moment ago. I had so much, I'm assuming you mean confidence when I was young. I know it's in me, but I also know I can't become my old self. And you're absolutely right, Anne. And do you know what? None of us can. None of us can become our old selves. And isn't that great? I know you're probably thinking, no, Jules, it's not actually, because I want to be confident like I was before. Well, actually, it's only that there's more clouds come in. It's if you imagine that, you know, if that confidence is within you, let's just say it's there, and then these clouds are coming in and you can't access that. That as we get older, we keep adding those clouds and adding those clouds and adding those clouds. And actually, it's not about trying to get back to how you were before. It's about being able to access, understand, and more truthfully, is just see what are those thoughts that block you from experiencing confidence. Authentic confidence, not the fake it till you make it, puff it up, but real confidence, being comfortable in your own skin, being relaxed and truthful and kind and considerate to yourself. So, and what I would suggest is, here's a random question, and see if this helps. And you don't have to answer this on Facebook right now, but if you want to come back later, you can do. So my question would be, how did I describe me to me when I was the age that I had confidence? How did I describe me to me when I was the age I perceived I had confidence? Have a play around with that question and see what comes up for you. Just notice what comes up for you, because I don't know what age you were. I know that a lot of us, it's interesting where age is concerned, because some people kind of go, oh God, well, I had so much confidence when I was young. You know, there is a lot of rose-tinted glasses, I think, sometimes when we go back, because I think that what happens is when we're younger, we just assume that we can do things. And in fact, you've just put fearless. Okay, so my assumption, Anne, is that if you described yourself to yourself back then as fearless, what would now happen when you describe yourself as fearless now? What would now happen if you described yourself as fearless? Only to yourself, you don't have to describe it to anybody else. But if you just described it to yourself, that maybe you could frame it up in a way, because it doesn't have to be kind of pumped up fluff of I am fearless and I can take on the world kind of stuff. But it's if you could frame it up in a way of something like there are times I feel afraid, and that's okay. I can still do things. There are times that I feel afraid, and it's okay. I can still do things. A lot of the times, what we don't realise is that where fear is concerned, in my worldview, there are two types of fear. The first type of fear that we have is the kind of fear that is the stuff that keeps us alive. So if there was wherever you are right now, if there was a really loud bang, you would immediately, your survival mechanism would kick in, and it would look at, you know, are you okay? Is it the people around you okay? What do you need to do? What was that? Was it just a car backfiring? Was it something else? What do I need to do? And all of that fight, flight and freeze stuff would kick into action. You don't have to do anything. That's already a fantastic automated program that we've got going. Any fear that we experience outside of that, in big picture terms, is created by our thinking. It's a psychological fear. So the first one is a primal fear, and the second one is a psychological fear. Now, these psychological fears they feel extremely real. You know, think of it in the sense of waking up in the middle of the night, having had a nightmare. And I did this a few weeks ago, in fact, where I woke up in the middle of the night and I was just about to take a deep breath in and scream, actually. That's how scary it was. And I already had tears coming down my face. And this is the practice that I do that's really helped me do things that would take me out of my comfort zone, put that effort in a way that I probably wouldn't have done a few years ago. Well, I know I wouldn't have done a few years ago. So that fear when I woke up from my nightmare, I genuinely thought, I don't know what the dream was, but I thought something awful was going to happen. And I woke up and I was about to scream. And as I opened my eyes, I saw my bedroom. And even though these tears were coming down, and I saw my bedroom and I went, this is really amazing. I'm in my bedroom, and yet in that moment, I felt afraid. How am I doing that? Because what I'll do is I then look around the house. I can look around the bed. I can check under the bed. I can go down the stairs and check the rest of the house if I want to. But I remind myself, I am safe. I'm very lucky to be living in an environment where I am safe. You know, I'm not in one of these other countries in this world that unfortunately are experiencing they, you know, if a loud bang went on for them, then it's a very different experience. For me in the UK, I don't have that, thankfully. I'm extremely grateful. So therefore, that primal part, I can then say, once I can check that I am physically safe, I can say to that primal part, stand down, soldier, I'm safe. And the phrase that I use, and clients will know this because I will do this. If my fear comes up, I will do this and look around and check the ceiling's not going to fall in, the floor's not going to fall away from me, I'm safe. So that gives that primal part a reason to stand down. Does that make sense? So I would say, it's okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Any other fear that I think I'm experiencing at that moment in time, which could still feel real, is created by my thinking. And then what I would do from that place is I have a whole different process that I go into as to how to work on that and support myself in a different way where that's concerned. But that's the first thing I would encourage you to do, Anne, is just just recognise that you're not that you're safe, and that what's going on is something up here. I hope that helps. Julie, was lovely to see your amazingness. Thank you. Very lovely to see the confident stuff. Grateful that I'm a confident being, and glad that others in need of it have you to teach them. Thank you, Julie. It's been wonderful to have you here today. So I'm hoping. Yeah, absolutely, Anne. I will remind myself that I'm safe at my divorce hearing next week. Absolutely. And it's not that those things, these experiences that we have, it's not that they are. I can understand that they feel real. The fear that we have that comes up, it feels real. You know, that nightmare that I had, it felt real, so much so that I was crying. In my sleep, I was crying and I was about to scream. But when I can remind that part that thinks that I'm in danger, that I'm okay, I'm safe, I'm okay, that's when I can start recognising the other bit. And what you can say to yourself, Anne, is, do you know what? I'm okay, I can handle this. Even though you may not know how, I'm okay and I can handle this. And that is, I know that's a big step for a lot of people to go into that realm of I can handle this, because the brain then goes, well, how? And I don't know, and da, which then can lead on to procrastination again, and you get caught in that loop. But even that simple thing of saying, I'm okay, I can handle this, gives you the opportunity. That's effort in itself. It's going, it's okay, I can handle this. That's going to help you start to build things in a different way. So I've gone on a little bit longer than I normally do. Thank you to Anne and Julie for your questions and comments and things that have been coming through. I really appreciate that. It's wonderful to have some interaction on these. I'll put the 2 links that I mentioned earlier down below as well. Please do feel free to share the video, to comment on the video. And if you're watching the replay of this and it brings up some questions for yourself, then post them here, and what I'll do is I go back and look through the questions, and I will answer them into either tomorrow's video or one of the other later videos if that's appropriate. And also, if you want to know more, then please feel free to direct message me. Nobody else looks at this page. I don't have another admin person that looks at this page. They do come directly to me, so you don't have to worry about anything being seen by somebody else. It is myself, and I will answer that for you. And if you would like to know more about either the work that I do, you can go to juleswyman.com. Or if this has triggered your appetite and you want to discover even more in a full day experience, bearing in mind we've only done half an hour today, but a full day experience of understanding, then you can go to thetruthaboutconfidence.com. For the first 10 people, you will get a free copy of my book sent to you, although I don't know how many of those are left now. But yeah, go there and you can find out more about the day and also book your ticket. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day 4, and therefore key 4 of the 7 Keys of Confidence. Thank you for joining me today. Have a brilliant day. Bye.